What is going on, everybody? This is Slick from Breaking the Clutch, and today I am back with an awesome video. This one in particular is a 2v2 Preston I played against Pistolini and Epic Hammy. If you guys know who these people are, they are some of the most notorious players in Halo Wars 2 at the moment. We're talking at least top 10 players, both of them individually, 1s, 2s, and 3s. All around great players. This game in particular is a very exciting one. It all comes down to one moment, and I'm going to basically talk about that moment for the entire game and essentially how that happened. But for starters, we'll talk about the situation at hand. So what we got a Decimus Atriox against Shipmaster Cutter. Shipmaster Cutter are Presto and myself. And of course, Double Chopper Rush is on the horizon. Now, Double Chopper Rush, if you're playing team play at all, then you're knowing the choppers are the only thing you're running into in terms of, say, that's the build you're seeing every game. It's the easiest build for the most success, and it's pretty mindless. You don't have to really put a lot of thought into it. You essentially get map control guaranteed every single time if you don't win in the first 6 minutes. So in this particular build, you're going to see if you're seeing an Atriox or Decimus, that's what they're doing. You can just safely assume that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go for my standard issue Ghost play with shield, and in this scenario itself, I'm going to attempt to defend instead of pushing up and getting aggressive. There's no point in me getting aggressive. 2 choppers on 1 Ghost, I'm going to get absolutely demolished. Now with Presto, Cutter and his magic with infantry units are firstly their speed, and secondly just raid. Raid is the best power that Cutter has. You get it right away. All of a sudden, all your infantry units are incredible, super fast. So with Preston's Cutter, all he's got to do is throw some turrets down, get that defense up, and then go right into Snipe Cyclops if he needs to. In this particular game, you would go straight into Cyclops if you were Cutter. There's no reason for you to go infantry. Why would you go infantry against double Scout Rush? So in this particular scenario as well, I know I've said particular scenario like 12 times, but in this instance, if you will, we are not even going to scout just because we know. I think I will scout at some point just to kind of just see where they are. But knowing these players and knowing knowing what they're going to do is fairly simple. Like, say, if you're playing any decent player, Chopper Rush or Chopper Opener in general is just really hard to stop if you're not going choppers as well. And these two players, knowing that they're seeing a Shipmaster Cutter, are just like, all right, let's just get super aggressive, double all in. I mean, that was my guess. That is essentially what will happen. Now, we're going to see right here if Presto and I can defend. Defending against 1 Chopper Rush is hard enough without choppers yourself, so defending against 2 at the same time is even more insane. As you're going to see, the first thing we do is if you start to see chopper scouts going around the map, you can almost safely assume that you're going to see that Chopper Scout Rush or Opener. So that is essentially the thought process here. Is we're like, okay, yep, guaranteed. We saw 1 at a light blue, so we know at least one of them is going choppers. I'm just going to get in a forward position. As you're going to see here, I'm still making ghosts, double pumping them at the same time until I get enough power to go for my shield. That is what I do with ghosts. I bet you after the chopper nerf, which is definitely going to come out, if it hasn't already been announced in the patch notes yesterday or today, depending on when those patch notes drop is when this video will drop, we will know that ghosts are probably going to be one of the strongest openers overall. So, like I said, the whole purpose of this game is just to show you how it all, you could have complete control of a game. It all comes down to 1 second where you just ruin everything. As you're going to see here, I start pushing up and I check. I'm like, okay, so Epic Hammy, Atriox is going for the quick expo. Now, what my goal is with my grunt there is to check and see if they're also doing that. But see, he gets the ram off right away. So I'm not able to tell. Now, I don't know about you guys, but seeing a chopper player expo, fast expo early in the game is so strange. Like, you never see that. So that was my first time playing against these, or my second time, I think, playing against these guys since the chopper buff. And I think that was just super strange. It's like, huh, that's weird. I think that might be why they're trying to run it. I think I don't think I've ever beaten these guys at Presto. I think Presto and I are 0-3 or 0-2 against them, depending up until this point in this game. So, you know, it all comes down to what's going to happen with this. So as you're going to see, I start to see a couple choppers going around. They're just going around that direction right there. You can tell they're just going to check a mini base. Of course, Preston pings it right there. I'm like, yep, that's exactly what they're doing. As you're going to see, I'm still maintaining everything. Oh, and look at that on the mini map right there. I'm going to scout this in a second. I see Blue's choppers. So what they got here is a good pinch opportunity. This is a great opportunity for me to catch these choppers off guard, ram them, stun them, and just absolutely melt these guys here. Any chopper advantage, or I'm sorry, any scout advantage counts in these chopper openers. Say if you aren't able to pull off something, or if you're able to just knock even 1 or 2, it's a huge help for you as a player in your situation. As you're going to see here, I start backing up, I start getting scared. I'm like, okay, so I got my pump going, no problem. I'm going to make a couple more ghosts, and then at this point, I should start going into turrets, because there's really no way in absolute hell that I should win this reasonably, just because there's going to be 2 choppers to my 1 ghost. As you're going to see here, I'm going to go quickly scout out across the map, just kind of move just because I want to see, and then I find all of the light blue choppers here. I know if I find these guys separate from the other choppers that I can catch them off guard, but at the same time, guys, I see an engineer as well. It's another bit of information. I have just put myself perfectly pinched in between 2 separate chopper forces, being dark blues and light blues, so I just need to continually skirt back to my side, maintain our side map control, and just kind of just take control of the situation. So as you can see, I start throwing down the first turret here. As shipmaster, I have yet to find a way to successfully defend choppers, let alone 2 choppers at once. As you can see, I get really lucky and catch 2 of these little grunts off guard as they're trying to come across, and I'm just going to focus them down here with my ghost. But as you can see, I'm at 800 supply at this point. This is a perfect opportunity, even though my turret's not up yet, is to just make more turrets. So as you're going to see here, I will start doing that. Yep, start making another ghost there and just kind of just preparing for the worst. As you're going to see, look at the mini-map. There's a huge swarm of choppers coming. But at this point, I got 12 ghosts, just upgraded my my main base. So they are pushing very late, and they are just pushing. I think they're pushing late just because they have a feeling they can win. Look at all the choppers, engineers coming out as well. At this point, I'm just like, oh shit, because they have definitely about 4 more choppers than me. If you guys have played, and look, I even got they also got shrapnel rounds as well. I'm just not looking good. But luckily, Presto has 2 Cyclops out, and honestly, even 2 Cyclops in this situation are a huge help. I'm gonna start going anti-vehicle on my turrets as well. But the vortex drop, if you get a vortex off on Cyclops, man, look at the crazy animation that goes on there. At this point, I was like, yep, well, we fucking lost, because look, they got, look at that, he's dropping a beam on my ghost. I'm going to strafe out of the way. They drop vortex on my units. I'm going to start making locusts, and really what you need to do, if you get this lucky and get a factory up, I'm sorry, not a factory, Jesus, I'm sorry, foundry. If you get a foundry up and running, then you can get a couple reavers out, and reavers just do so well against choppers. Their HP and resistance to them is just so good. And of course, this whole time that this is going down, I'm having anti-vehicle turrets up and just starting to rinse everything as much as possible. Now, lucky for me as well, Presto was double pumping Cyclops at the same time, and those Cyclops that got Vortex were doing very well. So Preston right now is doing an incredible job maintaining his Cyclops pump, and look at this, Preston single-handedly managed to pull back or make all their units push back. So I'm like, oh shit, time to get going. Now that we have a little bit of a lead, we need to get all of our units together, make as many units as possible, just kind of sit back for just a hot minute, and then just push up as soon as possible. Because as long as we have a little bit of an advantage, say what I need to do with my 2 foundries is start producing a lot of reavers and locusts, because the only thing that's going to stop Presto's Cyclops are banshees, and then we're in a great spot. And Presto did an excellent job, like I said, producing all of these units and trying to get a little bit of an upper hand. Preston starts to challenge these forward choppers, and just what we're doing is making sure we continue all of our unit pumps, just kind of establish this dominance, because we're at a point where like, oh my god, we just held off a double chopper rush from Epic Hammy and Pistolini. Now, like I said, these two guys, you should never be intimidated by these people, even if they're top of the leaderboard or whatever. Not these guys in particular, I mean like high rank players in general. So you should never be too intimidated, because you can always pull out a win against any player. But in this particular situation, once again, there I use that phrase, you know, you should just always come out guns blazing, like trusting yourself. Say, you know what, trust your builds, trust your strategies, and you're going to come out ahead if you play everything right. And that's exactly what Preston and I are doing. We're like, oh my god, we thought for sure we'd lose in the first 6 minutes just because we weren't well equipped. But turns out, just because of Preston's good build orders and constant focus and just solid guessing skills, we were able to pull a little bit ahead. As you can see here, I got 1 Locust, 1 Marauder, 2 Ghosts. Now, what I want to talk about right now is the situation we have at hand, okay? We have a very small army from me, lots of anti-vehicle units from Presto, and no anti-air support as of right now. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull off to the side here and just kind of wait, because I start to realize, oh my god, wait a second. If they have a lot of air units, then we are just going to be absolutely screwed in this situation. There we go. Lots of Banshees and Engineers out of dark blue. I immediately pull back here, but watch. This is the moment I'm talking about. Preston walks up. He sees a bunch of Wraith tanks, thinks he can challenge them. Look at this. All of those Cyclops there. His entire army is about to get Vortexed, beamed. All of his units are frozen. Vortex upgraded twice, can just one-shot Cyclops, and Preston just lost the 1 ticket we had to win the game. Preston lost every single unit there. That just immediately cost us this W here, because Wraith tanks can outspeed Locusts, and every single one of my units here, as they start to run back across the map, what I'm going to end up doing here is just skirting my Marauder away just to get him out of the micro. And just at least the speed trap. And I'm going to start trying to make a couple units that can fight some air. But if Preston would have had a Cyclops alive at this spot on this side of the map, we would have killed every single one of these Wraith tanks. I would have had some Reavers out, and that was it. So that is the one reason why we lost a game against these two dudes. We almost had the opportunity to pull back, but because Preston overcommitted there without support from me, and because we didn't actually, as soon as we saw those air units, man, we should have immediately backed up and said, oh shit, let's regather. I need to make a couple more Reavers. Instead of that, we just kind of took it right in the ass, lost every single unit that we could have to possibly win us the game, and then that's it. Now we're just kind of at this terrible, awful point where we're getting attacked by Banshees and Wraith tanks collectively. I have a shit ton of Locusts up, but they just aren't as fast as Wraith tanks in this situation. I'm going to keep trying to make a little bit extra Locusts just to kind of do a little bit more damage. And of course, all these, look at that, the beam drop on the Locusts are just so slow. I'm going to lose so many of them. Starting to mass pump Reavers as much as possible. He took out 5 of my Locusts right there with that beam. I still have 2 Reavers left, but this is pretty much all she wrote for us this game. No way in hell we're going to be able to hold off this attack. We might hold it off for a while, but that is that. So anyway, guys, I hope you're enjoying this type of video. This is a different one. You know, we generally speaking don't show losses on this channel, but I felt that this is very necessary because, you know, we're not perfect. We're most certainly not perfect at all. We're not the best of the best players. We know a lot more than, say, the average Joe, but we are definitely not the best. And this is a perfect situation or example of why or how you can easily lose a game just by a simple misclick. Say if Preston just would have saw those Banshees and then pulled back and stayed with my units, we potentially could have won this game or even put ourselves in a much better position to go into the mid or late game. And because of that overcommitment in the Vortex that Preston, he succumbed to a Vortex, he just essentially handed 12 Cyclops on a golden platter right to Pissolini's base, and he said, take me, take me, take me, and then all of his units just dropped. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this concept. Like I said, you just got to know when to hold them, know when to fold, and that's when you're going to put yourself in much better scenarios. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Once again, guys, I'm going to plug the Discord server. We're about to hit 100 followers on the Discord. Go check it out. Some awesome conversations going in there at all times. Not only that, but also people have been partying up. You can get a team of 3 going, team of 2, team of 1, whatever you want to do. You can 1v1 people in scrims and whatnot. You can do scrims. I've been doing a lot of scrims from the Discord lately. Shouts out to everybody who is on the Discord server. Absolutely love you guys and your commitment to the BTC community. It is absolutely awesome how much you guys do support us and the things that some of you guys have done some crazy things for us because our Discord server is completely community run. Say, I have no fucking idea how the hell a Discord works, and I've had nothing but support from everybody there and how to get it set up. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Check out our Discord server. Link is in the description below. You got to be careful what you do in this game or else you can lose it all in 1 second. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Slick from Breaking the Clutch, and we'll see you guys next time.